January meeting in the North Highlands Recreation Park District to order. First item on the agenda is the approval of the December 11th minutes. Does anyone have any changes or corrections to those minutes?
Other than it says special meeting at the top of the agenda, but it wasn't a special meeting, right? Minutes of December 11th. I don't think it says it on the minutes, I just saw it on the agenda.
Oh, no. Yeah, okay. That was just, you're correct.
Yeah, I think that's
The minutes are correct, the agenda.
Right, was weird.
Okay, I'm with you.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't a special meeting.
No, it was not a special meeting.
Motion to approve is presented.
Thank you.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstention?
Abstaining.
Okay. Next item is chairperson's report. I've got nothing this month. Comments from board members? Anyone have anything they want to? Okay. Reports from standing committees. I don't believe there's anything. All right. We'll move on to administrator's report. Is there anything you would like to highlight or add to your report, Larry?
Just a couple of things on the Alberta Park tentative map update. I will be meeting with Brian Spillman from Silverado Homes next Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday. And we will start working on the Quimby dedication requirements, the plans and for the turnkey park and the timing and the development, when is it going to happen. And these are things that are going to come back to the board. One of the things to keep in mind is we want to determine when we want them to start construction of the park. And I have some ideas I'll share with the board at the next meeting. And just to give you an idea of what the financial impact of this project is for the park, they're expecting, they're using 225 planned units. I've seen 226, but let's call it 225 at $4,367 per unit. We're looking at about almost $1 million. What we don't use as part of the construction and programming for the park, it will return back to our park dedication funds.
Okay.
And I think that the maintenance division report, our maintenance supervisor Sergio Portela is on vacation, but I wanted to just give you a brief update. We experienced a few irrigation breaks at Freedom Park. In research of this, there seems to be an ongoing issue of breaks, especially where our irrigation pipes come to a T. According to staff, we're experiencing a half a dozen of these a year. This is quite high for a park that's not that old. But anyhow, we haven't repaired them yet. We just turned off the water, so we're not worried about it. We don't want it to dry out real well before we start digging. And also, we had an attempt to break in at Capehart gym, but they were not able to get past the deadbolt. So that's
any damage to speak of?
nothing that we could handle internally. And that's what I have, and then you have your recreation report, Scott.
Okay. Before we move on, Scott, is there any questions? Yeah, go ahead.
Are you, Larry, in your, I appreciate your detailed report and giving us the heads up as the situation there. It's very detailed. I really appreciate all that. You mentioned verbally that there's some negotiation that can be had about when the construction of the park will be built. Because in your notes you mentioned that our goal is 50%. Once 50% of the housing permits have been pulled,
Sure.
is that something that?
Yeah, it's not uncommon for developers to want to push off the park development towards the end of the development, which is kind of counterproductive in my opinion. I always thought you want to do it up front, as it helps as a sales marketing tool for your homes. But traditionally, 50% of pulling the 50% of the permits, in this case 113 permits, would then trigger it. The key is not necessarily when they start, but making sure you put language in it that ensures that when it's finished.
Oh, yeah.
And so there's, in case we want to put some sort of financial penalties in there, because it's not uncommon for, especially when the economy can turn down a little bit, that they'll start it, they'll put in like the underground utilities, and then they back off and nothing's happening. So you want to make sure you put language in there that not only talks about when you start, but most importantly, when you finish.
Okay. Great, thank you.
Anyone else? All right, I've got quick questions. So do we know why they changed?
Yeah, the county wasn't happy with their design. What they were trying to do is they were trying to squeeze in more homes Again, their original plan goes back to almost 240-something units. They were putting in very small lots. They were putting backs of lots that backed up to nothing or facing another back lot. The county had questions about the park design in the sense of location, but also on-street parking, because if you have no place to park to get there, then people are going to end up parking in front of people's homes. So you can see the design actually changed quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not final, but I think that, I went to the county offices 2 days ago and had a meeting with their planning department. Interesting, we had a request from one of the county supervisors to meet, to go over this project.
Okay.
But I think that the most recent design you have, the alternative 3, I think that looks much better. It's much more improved than the original. And again, developers want to squeeze as many homes in as they can.
I get that. All right. So by the way, next time you have to go downtown, you can always, this Richard will take you to lunch. All right, okay.
Too bad you went there and paid for my parking.
We can both take
Oh,
the
she'll
yellow
validate that
bus.
for you.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had validated parking until I started to leave.
Yeah, they do. Actually, the district can buy a book of validation, so if you guys go down there, you can come with a validation.
Oh, we should do that because we go down once a week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't know, if you didn't know that, you can, yeah.
Yeah, wow, yeah.
If you want, I can get you in contact. I had one other question on your update for next month's meeting. We have district reorganization discussion. A 1-minute synopsis on.
Sure. What I've been trying to do is use the past year, looking at the organization and trying to find a way how we can make it most efficient as we possibly can, making sure we have the right people in the right place. We have, as you know, we have more part-time maintenance workers than we had full-time maintenance workers. Yet we were working full-time maintenance workers almost full-time hours, part-time maintenance workers almost full-time hours, 38 hours a week. I have spent a lot of time looking at how we could possibly make those part-time maintenance workers full-time and still not have an impact on the budget, because we have some seasonal employees that we haven't been filling positions. And so utilizing existing dollars, we want to see how we can make some reorganizational changes, especially on the maintenance side. For the rest of the organization, is looking at putting some of our key people in different positions of responsibility. And also looking at backfilling a recreation supervisor, or excuse me, a coordinator position that we've had vacant for 5-6 months?
Since August, yeah.
Since August, because we need to bolster ourselves up if we're going to continue to add additional recreation programs. So taking what we have and just shifting around and trying to, I believe strongly in getting part-time, or should be full-time people, converting part-time to full-time when you can, because for training and investment into that employee retention, I think it means a lot. And most of these part-time people have been here for 6, 7, 8 years.
Okay.
So.
All right.
So that's kind of the focus we're at.
All right, I appreciate that. All right. Scott, is there anything you
Can I,
want?
can
I'm sorry.
Can I add on to that for a second? I had a chance to speak with Larry after last month's meeting, and it was part of this reorganization process that he just mentioned. And I had a chance last month to speak to one of the staffers, Sergio. He was out in the park across the street from my house, and I asked him, how he enjoyed working with the new district administrator. And he said he really enjoyed working with Larry. That Larry really values the opinion of the employees. Really just values their work experience and their history with the district. And I just want to again thank Larry for his including the employees as part of this process and valuing their opinion, and they're part of the process in this. So, thank you.
All right. Scott, is there anything you want to highlight or add?
Just a couple quick things. If you had trouble finding a parking spot tonight, I apologize. We have our winter basketball parents meeting going on in the community center. And actually the sheer amount of cars is a good sign, because that means folks are interested and they're here to listen to what we have to say. Parents get their children's team assignments tonight. They go over and sign their codes of conduct, which outline the rules that we ask them to follow when they're in our gyms and as part of our program. Answer any questions about the program. We start practice on Monday. We'll practice for 2 weeks. and then games begin 2 weeks from Saturday. So we're about, going in tonight, we're at about 60% of our registration goal. Based on the line out the door right now, Terry's out there picking up the slack. I would imagine we'd probably take 20 or 30 tonight. So we're going to have a full program come early next week. I have every confidence in that. So the other thing is just
what was your participation goal number?
between the cheerleading program, the Pee Wee program, and then our youth basketball league, where we have 3 separate age groups, it's 168. We were just over 100 coming into tonight. We're probably at about 140 now, so very encouraging. At this juncture, I mean, we'd like these folks to have registered 2 weeks ago, but last minute things pop up. And I just wanted to make a quick mention of our community holiday party held last month here in the rec center and the community center. I thought staff did a wonderful job. Mark and his team continue to put together very family-friendly events, lots of activities for the kids to stay busy with. We kind of shifted away from just, you know, showing up and looking at stuff to actually the kids can interact and do hands-on things. So the weather wasn't our friend. It rained most of the evening, and that might have kept some folks at home, but by my count, I think we probably had between 200 and 300 folks come through the doors over the course of the 2.5-hour event. So it was very well done, very nice event.
Perfect, thank you. Any questions for Scott? Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to correspondence, and there is none. Comments and reports from citizens and organizations. Not thinking that's going to happen tonight. Unfinished business, we have none. Item 10, we'll take 10B before 10A. So we'll take 10B out of order. Capehart Business Field Building use for discussion on the building use.
As part of that, I'd like to share this with you. I have good news. We have a foundation. For the foundation, I'd like to share some pictures with you, some before and after. I did something I usually don't like to do, but I felt it was necessary, and I had to contact our local supervisor who represents our area to slightly complain about the planning department's requirements, constantly changing requirements. And I give her office credit. Within 24 hours, things changed real quickly over the planning department. And and I don't like doing that, but you know, when it got to the point where it got beyond frustrating. But anyhow, to let you just give you a quick update, because it kind of ties into this, the foundation has been poured, the building has been ordered. We anticipate the building to be here about February 16th. They said 3 to 4 days to erect the building. And after the building's up, then the next process is we have to pull electrical, plumbing, and do some interior work. So we're not done yet, but there's going to be something out there that wasn't there before. So even though I know this has been a year plus of issue for the district, I actually see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I don't think there's a train coming at us. So I keep my fingers crossed. So a little bit about the, if I can, about the Capehart. I'm going to call it a storage building.
That's what I thought we were going to call that.
Thank you. Thank you. Again, you know, there's a lot of information here, but I'm going to try to summarize it if I can. The building has, before it was torched, the building had been many things. Before, when it was burned, it was mainly a storage area and a seasonal snack bar. Scott, please jump in if I say something incorrect. And what happened was the building was burned. It's been well over a year since we've gone through the process of getting this replaced. As we went through this process, one of the things we learned, and I think Michael knows as being a contractor, is sometimes the requirements for a new building are going to be a little different than an existing building. And through this process, we found out that converting it as